Welcome back to Burning River Bushcraft. Today we're going to be taking a look at a survival fishing kit from Vigilant Trails. This is their survival fishing kit stage 3. Now I have looked at the stage 1 kit and the stage 2 kit. So Vigilant Trail is not a typical company where they would just make one survival fishing kit for all bodies of water and just call it good. When you go to the Vigilant Trail website, you can see they've got a lot of different options for their small survival kits and trapping kits and fishing kits. But this stage 3 kit I am having great hopes for. The stage 1 kit was wonderful. It is based around a larger size handrail and a small bag. The stage 2 kit had 2 handrails, was based around a 10, and it also had a self snag hook. And when you look at this is completely unique as well. So I can see a fishing style yo-yo. I've got handrails. This is kind of neat. It's not just the same kit with a few different items tweaked. These are completely different kits depending on your needs and your environment. If this is the kind of thing you like, go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment in the comment box, and ring the bell to be notified of my latest videos. You can also find me on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Burning River Bushcraft. I also teach outdoor classes at outdoorcore.com. All right, let's pop this open and take a look here. So that is quite a bit of stuff. Let me get this kind of organized here and see what we have. The stage 3 kit has directions with it, which the stage 1 kit did and the stage 2 kit did not. So I think this is a great thing to add. I've got the contents of what's in the kit. I have general fishing information. I've got on page 2 information on how to clean a fish, how to make fish traps, different types of poison you can use in a survival situation. And then I have tips for bass, bluegill, trout, catfish, crappie, and then I've got pictorial directions on the back side. So that's a great thing. This kit, if you're just going to market this as a survival fishing kit, you really can't assume that the people who are going to carry this are fishermen. So this is awesome information. I'm glad that's in here. So this kit has 1 handrail. And this is the style handrail that's included in the stage 2 kit. The stage 1 kit was a little different. So I can fit 4 fingers in there and use it, but it's not oversized at all. There is quite a bit of line on here. It doesn't really say how many feet, but that looks like well over 100 feet of line. This is their self snag hook. And this was in stage 2 kit, but not in stage 1. And what this does is you run line through here and then attach it to your swivel, and then when a fish pulls on it, it's going to set the hook for you. So that little spring action you're going to get right there is more than enough to set the hook, and the fish is on the line waiting for you when you get back. This is an awesome thing to add to the kit. These don't take up a whole lot of space. You can improvise something similar with an L7, but I mean, that weighs nothing, and I just set it again. Next fish comes by, pulls down on the line attached to the swivel, and we've got a fish waiting for us. So this is another outstanding thing that should be in every single survival kit. This is an automatic yo-yo. So a fishing yo-yo, you can set this. You can reel off however much line you want. And you can hang this in a tree. I've used these in ice. You can use these in practically any situation. And then you're going to attach your line here, and then when a fish pulls on it, it's going to set it off. And if it's a big fish, it'll play on here, but I've caught small fish where it actually pulls them up out of the water. So I love these things. I travel with these things quite a bit. This is outstanding that this is included in the stage 3 kit. Here's my bag of hooks and a couple jig heads. Let me dump them out here and see what we got. So we got a pretty good assortment of 10 fishing hooks, single shank fishing hooks. And they go from big but not too big, all the way down to small but not too small. And pretty much everything in between. And I also have 2 jig head hooks. So I've got some curly-tailed jigs included in this kit, just like all the other kits. So this is going to work in conjunction with that. These are a little bit easier to cast as well. So I've got 2 different color jig heads. So I've got 2 different bags of soft baits. Let's pop this open and see what's in here. So I have 3 different colors of curly-tailed grubs, and I've got a frog and a crayfish. I have a nice collection of worms as well. I've got 2 different color curly-tailed worms, and I've got some kind of unique colors here. This is a pretty sparkly one here. This will definitely get something's attention. So I've got 10 sinkers here. I've got 2 half-ounce sinkers as well as 8 split shot. So we all know exactly what these things are used for. These are used to win fishing tournaments. I've got a bobber as well. This is a clip-on cigar style bobber. So here's a couple of coated leaders, and it's set up with snap swivels and barrel swivels. So I've also got some soft bait. So this next item is a hook remover. And for the size and weight that takes up, I'm definitely glad that's included. So like the other kits, there's an inexpensive lockback knife. And originally I was questioning why this was in the Stage 1 kit. Was the first time I encountered it, because I carry a knife anyway. But if I'm over water and I have to do any cutting task, I would rather risk losing my inexpensive knife. So I've got my main knife on my belt safe. And this is sharp enough to fillet a fish. You could definitely cut line. For the size that takes up, I'm happy to have it. So the Stage 3 kit has line cutters as well, and I think that's a great idea, especially if you have unstable footing or are just trying to do something simple like cut some fishing line. You do not need to have an exposed blade out. So I have some paracord in here as well. So this is nice high-vis paracord. I would use this to tie my yo-yo into a tree limb. You could also use this to mark certain locations that you had your yo-yo set or your self-snag hook set. You could use this as a fish stringer as well. So always happy to have cordage. I've got a small collection of first aid items here. So I've got iodine prep pad. I have an alcohol pad, as well as just a selection of bandages. So that Stage 3 kit's solid. I love the fact that it's got the self-snag hook, and I've got a yo-yo in there. So that allows me to passively fish in 2 different ways. And I do still have a hand reel, so I can actively fish. And I have enough line on here, there is quite a bit of line there, that I can set limb lines, I can improvise lines to get even more lines out there. Now, the fishing gear seems pretty standard throughout the kits. This one is an upgrade though. I've got better soft baits, I've got different style worms, I've got that frog is kind of unique, and that crawdad is an outstanding looking lure. So probably the biggest downfall of that kit is it doesn't really have a tin, or it doesn't have a bag that it comes in. It's got this plastic bag, and this is a really heavy duty bag, and this would work for the full extent of any survival situation that you could possibly imagine. But I could see this more just wearing over time, of being put in a bag and taken out of a bag and switched to a different kit. I would prefer something a little more secure to hold all my stuff in. But not having a tin or a bag is not going to keep me from eating fish. This is a great kit. The Stage 1 kit is for actively fishing. I've got a hand reel. When I move to the Stage 2 kit, I've got the hand reel and I've got a couple other things, but then I have the self-snag hook, which sets the hook for me. So with this Stage 3 kit, I've got the hand reel for active fishing. I have the self-snag hook to catch fish passively, but then I've also got that yo-yo, and I have a ton of experience with those yo-yos. They catch big fish, and they will keep that fish played. And like I mentioned, if you catch a small fish, it'll pull it right up out of the water for you. So it can be fishing for you while you're doing other things. So which one of these kits would I carry? It all comes down to size, really. This is the largest kit, but I've got a yo-yo in there, and I'm willing to put up with the weight of that. If for some reason I'm really tight on this trip and I don't have extra space, I might go down to the Stage 1 kit, because it's in a small bag and it's pretty malleable. I can poke that in a lot of areas. The Stage 2 kit with its tin is pretty solid. That's a very durable kit that you can put in a bag and kind of forget about until you actually need it. So definitely check out Vigilant Trail for all of your small pocket-sized kit needs. They've got a lot of options there. Now, I'm going to be doing separate short videos on that self snag hook as well as the yo-yo in the future. All right, till next time, this has been Jamie Boggs with Burning River Bushcraft. See you soon.